All right, so today we are diving into the world of building a personal brand online.
Okay.
We're talking about really taking control of your online presence.
Right.
Not just existing online, but like really making it work for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our guide for this deep dive is Jason P. Jordan and his book, Personal Online Promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I thought was so interesting right off the bat is he really emphasized that, it's not enough to just like exist online.
Right.
You really want to control what people find when they search for you.
Absolutely. And, in a way, your online presence is like your storefront.
Yeah.
It's that first impression that really matters.
Or like your digital handshake almost.
Exactly. And that's where the domain name comes in.
Yes. He's very big on domain names.
Oh, absolutely. It's like owning a piece of digital real estate.
It is. And he says it's not enough to just have the .com.
Right.
You got to get the .net, the .org.
All the variations. Secure your brand.
Exactly. And he even uses his middle initial. Did you notice that? Jason P. Jordan.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even put that together.
Just to make sure that when people search for him,
they find the right guy.
They find the right guy. Have you ever had that happen? Like you go to register a domain name and it's taken?
Oh, all the time. Especially in my field, it's so common.
Yeah, it's like that feeling of someone got there first.
Exactly. It's like, oh man, I should have thought of that.
But it's not just about like, planting your flag with the domain name.
Right.
It's what you do with it.
Exactly. Your website is like your home base.
Yes. He calls it the Grand Central Station of your online presence.
I love that. And he's a big fan of WordPress, which I think is really accessible.
I know. That surprised me because I feel like WordPress has this reputation of being like...
Yeah, for techies.
For the techies, yeah. And he's like, no, it's really user-friendly.
It is. And he really emphasizes that ease of use.
Yeah.
Like anybody can set up a website with WordPress.
And he has a whole step-by-step guide for picking a domain name. Even if your name is like John Smith.
Right. Like, good luck with that one, right?
Right. He has all these tips and tricks, like he recommends GoDaddy for research.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah, it's like domain name reconnaissance.
I love that.
So you can go and see like what variations are available.
It takes the guesswork out of it.
Exactly. So, okay, we've got our domain name.
We're feeling good.
We've got our website. It's beautiful. It's up and running.
But how do we get people to actually go to this amazing website?
Right. That's the $1 million question, right?
Exactly. Well, Jason P. Jordan has some thoughts.
Oh, I bet he does.
He does. And this is where I thought it got really interesting.
Okay.
He's a huge proponent of online press releases.
Really? Even for individuals?
Even for individuals.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Me neither. I always thought those were like for Fortune 500 companies.
Right. Mergers and acquisitions, that kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Like announcing a new CEO or something.
Not for like you and me.
Right. But he argues that online PRs, when done right, act like these little signals to search engines.
Interesting.
So it's a way to boost your visibility.
Okay, so it's not just about sending out a press release for any little thing.
No, it has to be newsworthy.
So he gives examples like if you've launched a new project or a book.
Something substantial.
Or like starting a podcast, for example.
Right.
It's about positioning yourself as an expert.
So it's about showcasing your expertise.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
And he claims that a well-crafted PR can get you to the top of search results in 72 hours.
Wow. 72 hours. That's like internet fame speed.
I know.
All right, so how do we do it?
Okay, so how do we write one of these magical PRs?
Yeah, give us the secret sauce.
He breaks it down.
Okay.
He gives you a clear structure, like from the headline all the way down to the call to action.
Wow, okay.
And he's very big on incorporating SEO keywords.
Right. You got to speak Google's language.
Exactly. And then he even gets into PR distribution services.
Okay.
He recommends a mix of free and paid.
So there are free options out there.
There are free options. He says those are great for SEO.
Okay.
But if you really want to like get on Google News and stuff like that,
you got to shell out a little bit of cash.
Sometimes, yeah, it's an investment.
Right. It's like any kind of marketing.
Exactly. So we've got our website. We've got our PR strategy.
We're killing it.
Yeah. Now let's talk about social media.
Ah, yes, the social media jungle.
Right. Because it can feel very overwhelming.
It does. There are so many platforms.
So many platforms, and they're all changing all the time.
Constantly. New features, new algorithms. It's hard to keep up.
It is. So Jason P. Jordan to the rescue again.
Okay, good. Because I need some guidance.
He has very strong opinions about where you should focus your energy.
Okay, I'm ready to lay it on me.
What he calls the social media trio.
The social media trio. All right, I like it.
Are you ready for this?
Hit me.
Facebook.
Okay, standard.
Cutter.
All right, keeping it classic.
Google.
Google. Wait, I thought that was gone.
I know.
Like extinct.
Like the dinosaurs?
I haven't heard anyone mention Google in years.
Me neither. But he makes a case for it.
Okay. All right, I'm listening.
So he argues that while there are all these platforms out there, focusing on these three, particularly when you're first starting out, will give you the biggest impact.
Okay. So it's about maximizing your efforts.
Exactly.
All right, let's break it down platform by platform.
Okay.
Starting with the big dog, Facebook.
Facebook. So what are his golden rules for Facebook success?
Well, he has an interesting strategy. He actually suggests creating two things.
Okay.
A personal profile, obviously kept professional.
Right, of course.
But then a separate business page.
Okay, so it's like having your personal brand and then your like professional presence.
Exactly. It's about compartmentalizing.
Okay, and I like that because it allows you to still have those personal connections.
Right, exactly.
But then you're not bombarding your like, great aunt with your latest business venture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's very detail-oriented, so he offers really specific advice.
Okay, like what?
Like down to the ideal image dimensions for your cover photo.
Yeah, he's all about the details.
He's all about the details. He wants you to get it right.
I love it. Okay, so we've got our profile set up.
We're feeling good.
We're feeling good.
What's next?
But he stresses the importance of regular updates.
Okay.
And get this, he suggests posting 3 times a day.
3 times a day.
3 times a day.
I can barely manage once a week.
I know. I struggle with that too.
It's a lot.
It is. He's like very big on consistency though.
Consistency is key.
Consistency is key with Facebook.
All right, Facebook, we got it 3 times a day. What about Twitter?
Okay, Twitter. This is where he has his 120 character rule.
120 characters. Why not use all 280?
Because he's thinking about retweets.
Oh, that's smart.
So he wants you to leave space for people to add their own commentary.
So it's not just about broadcasting your message.
Right.
It's about encouraging others to share it.
And amplify it, yes.
That's really smart.
And then, of course, he talks about engagement.
Engagement's huge.
So it's not just about, like, tweeting into the void.
Right. You got to talk to people.
You have to respond to comments. You have to engage in conversations.
Build those relationships.
Yes. It's about building that community.
Exactly.
Okay, so are you ready to talk about the elephant in the room?
The Google of it all.
The Google.
Okay, lay it on me. Why is he so pro-Google?
Okay, so he argues that while Facebook is all about connecting with friends and family,
right,
Google is more intertwined with search results.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he says, even if you're not super active on Google, having a business page is crucial for showing up on Google Maps.
That's huge. Especially for local businesses.
Especially for local businesses.
Okay.
That's like make or break.
That's make or break for sure.
And then he again emphasizes consistency.
Of course, Google loves consistency.
Google loves consistency. He's like, even if you just post like links to your blog posts.
Right, just something.
Something. It will help with your search ranking.
Okay, so it's worth it, even if it feels like a ghost town.
He says it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm convinced I'm going to dust off my Google account.
There you go. It's about playing the long game, right?
The long game, exactly. And recognizing that each platform has a different purpose.
It does.
And Google is definitely more for Google than it is for us, maybe, but...
Maybe. But we still got to play the game.
We got to play the game, that's right.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
We talked about the importance of a strong domain name online PR, and we even ventured into the land of Google.
The forbidden zone.
But that's not all.
There's more.
There's more.
Oh boy, I'm ready.
Jason P. Jordan, he didn't stop there. He actually interviewed a bunch of other online marketing experts for his book.
Oh wow, okay.
And he includes their wisdom as well.
So it's like a bonus round of insights.
It's like a bonus round.
I love it. All right. I'm ready for more.
So are you ready to tap into that collective wisdom?
Let's do it.
So 2 of the interviews that really stood out to me were with Ashley Reese.
Okay.
She's a social media strategist. And Deborah C. Owen, and she consults on social media and education.
Okay, a good mix there.
So Ashley Reese, one of the things that she really emphasized was the power of using your personal name.
Interesting.
Across social media platforms.
Yeah.
Even if you have a business name, she's like, weave in your personal name.
So it's not just about the brand.
Right.
It's about the person behind the brand.
Exactly. She's like, people connect with people.
That's so
They don't connect with, like, faceless corporations as much as...
Right, it's about that human connection.
Right.
Yeah.
And she actually practices what she preaches. She has this really great checklist for optimizing your Twitter profile.
Oh, awesome.
Which we will link in the show notes for our listeners.
Freebie alert.
Freebie alert. So she has all these tips and tricks for, like, making your Twitter profile really stand out.
Okay, great.
Another thing that I thought she had a really good point about was repurposing content.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Because, we're all busy.
So busy.
And she's like, why create content from scratch every time?
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. So she gives examples like, let's say you write a blog post. Mm-hmm. Well, you can pull quotes from that and turn them into tweets.
Right, or create some graphics.
Exactly. Or you can take that blog post and summarize it on Facebook.
Love it.
It's like, those recipes that use leftover chicken 3 different ways.
Exactly. You're stretching your content further.
Stretching the content.
Okay, so that's Ashley Reese. What about Deborah C. Owen?
Okay, so Deborah C. Owen, she has this framework that she calls the 6 C's of social media success.
6 C's. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Are you ready?
Hit me.
Content, curate, connect, communicate, collaborate, and choose yourself.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Okay, so break that down for me. What do those actually mean in practice?
Okay, so content is pretty self-explanatory.
Right, you got to create good content.
But she talks about, making sure it's valuable, it's relevant.
Right, it's got to be something people actually want to see.
Right. Curate is interesting because she's a big proponent of sharing other people's content as well.
Well, that's a good point.
So it's not just about tooting your own horn all the time.
Yeah. Right. It's about adding value to the conversation.
Exactly. It's about being a resource for your followers.
Showing that you're plugged into your industry.
Exactly. And then connect and communicate.
All right, those two seem pretty intertwined.
They are, and they're all about relationships.
Okay.
She really emphasizes that social media shouldn't be a one-way street.
Right. It's not just about broadcasting your message.
Exactly. You have to be listening. You have to be responding.
You have to be engaging.
Engaging. Having those conversations.
So it's like the difference between talking at someone and talking with someone.
Yes.
One is a monologue, the other is a dialogue.
Exactly. And then collaborate. She's very big on collaboration.
Okay. Collaboration makes sense. I feel like that naturally flows from those conversations.
It does. And she says, trust is essential for collaboration. And you build that trust through those genuine interactions, through, providing value.
Being helpful, being present.
Exactly. And then finally, the last C, choose yourself.
Choose yourself. Ooh, I like that one.
Right. And she talks about this in the context of owning your expertise. Right. But at the end of the day, it's about connecting with real people.
Building relationships, making a difference.
Exactly. So we've talked about, the domain name, the online PR, the social media.
A lot of information.
It's a lot.
So what's Jason P. Jordan's parting words of wisdom?
Well, he wraps up the book with a call to action.
Okay.
He's like, I've given you all this information. Now go forth and conquer the internet.
All right. No pressure.
Right. No pressure. But he does give you some actionable steps.
Okay, good, because I was going to say I need a starting point.
Yes. So he emphasizes starting small.
Okay.
Focusing on one step at a time.
Manageable.
Because it can feel overwhelming.
Totally.
He actually provides a checklist
nice.
of things that you can do today. Okay, I like it. To start building or refining your online presence.
Give me the goods. What's on the list?
Okay, so some of it we've already talked about,
right.
Like registering your domain name.
Right, got to have that home base.
Setting up your social media profile.
Mm-hmm. Making sure they're optimized.
Even starting that Google page.
Yeah, fine, even Google.
Oh. But then he also has some interesting ones, he suggests reaching out to people that you admire.
Oh, that's a good idea.
In your field.
Yeah.
Connecting with them on LinkedIn, maybe sending a quick email.
So it's about building relationships.
It's about building relationships. And he's like, don't be afraid to offer value up front.
Oh, that's such a good tip.
Share a link to one of their articles that you like,
mm-hmm.
or offer to help with a project that they're working on.
Just be genuine. Be authentic.
Be genuine. Be authentic.
Show them that you're not just trying to get something from them, that you're genuinely interested in connecting.
And I love that because it goes back to that whole, personal branding is about relationships.
It is. It's about building those connections.
And those relationships can lead to, amazing opportunities down the road.
Absolutely. It's all about who you know.
This has been eye-opening, I have to say.
Me too. I feel like I need to go back and reread this book now.
I know. It's a lot to take in, but it's good stuff.
It is. And it's actionable, which I appreciate.
It is. It's not just vague advice.
Right. Go be great on the internet.
He gives you the steps.
He gives you the steps.
I like that. So where do we even begin? I feel like that's the question.
Right. It can feel overwhelming.
It can.
Where do we even start?
It is a lot to take in, but I think, like you said, it's about taking those small steps.
Yeah, baby steps, right?
Baby steps.
Don't try to do everything at once.
Exactly, because then it just feels overwhelming and you're like never going to do it.
Right. It's like, oh, this is too hard. I give up.
Exactly. So what would be like one small step that our listeners could take today?
Okay, so today, right this second,
Yeah.
to start feeling like they're making progress.
Yes.
How about just going through your social media profiles
Okay.
and making sure that they're up to date?
Oh, I like that.
Right, like, are your profile pictures current?
Oh, that's a good one.
Right, are your bios, saying what you want them to say?
Oh, yeah, because those are important too. We didn't even really touch on that.
Right, it's like your digital elevator pitch.
It is. It's that first impression.
Exactly. So just taking a few minutes to spruce things up.
It's like a mini makeover for your online presence.
Exactly. And it's something you can do right now.
Right now. You don't need any fancy tools or anything.
Just you and your phone.
I love it. I think that's a fantastic takeaway.
Easy peasy.
This has been so eye-opening. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
Right. Jason P. Jordan has given us a lot to think about.
He has. And I love how he combines like the strategic stuff with the human element.
Yeah, he doesn't lose sight of the fact that we're all just people trying to connect.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole online world so fascinating.
It is. It's like this weird mix of technology and humanity.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Okay, I'm ready for my next digital adventure.
But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought.
Ooh, I love a good parting thought. Lay it on me.
The internet can feel like a very big and noisy place.
Oh, it totally can.
But remember, you have something unique to offer.
Mm-hmm. We all do.
Your voice matters, your story matters, and your expertise matters.
Preach.
So go out there and share it with confidence and authenticity.
Yes. The world needs to hear what you have to say.
And on that note, dear listeners, we'll leave you to it. Go forth and build your personal brands.
Happy branding, everyone.
We'll be back next time with another deep dive. Until then, take care.